In a few short hours over in D.C., the government shutdown may be ending via a vote. I'm Lauren Edwards with what locals are thinking.
Stuck at a red light in Royal Oak. Well, you know what? This could be a thing of the past. I'm Scott Walchek. We're taking the Weather Beast, and we're going to take a look at a new traffic project that's supposed to fix these signals up. You think it'll work?
Working for you. This is Fox 2 News at 5.
We believe the long national nightmare will be over tonight. We're very optimistic about the vote tally tonight. We think this is going to happen, and we're sorry that it took this long.
The U.S. House on track to pass a funding bill tonight that would end the longest government shutdown in history. House lawmakers have flown back to Washington if they could find a flight. This is their first session in weeks, and Republicans will need every vote they can to pass the bill, with many Democrats expected to oppose it because it doesn't include an extension for the Affordable Care Act tax benefits. All right, Fox 2's Lauren Edwards live downtown tonight with
Charlie, you know, we have been out and about. Right now I'm downtown, but we've been all over Metro Detroit for hours between Southfield, Birmingham, and here in downtown Detroit. And I can tell you that people have absolutely so much to say. Now, as you said, this is day 43, the longest in history, the longest government shutdown in history. And Fox 2 is hearing that a vote on the funding bill to end it all, which some were calling a nightmare. Some were saying they hope that it lasts a little bit longer. It may happen in or around 7 o'clock. And some Metro Detroiters say, you know, they'll be keeping, a very close eye on how it all unfolds tonight. Top of mind for many that we spoke with, getting people back to work, paychecks back in people's accounts, and access to affordable and good food. We heard from a number of people, as I said, as we've been out all around Metro Detroit, including one whose wife works in the Friendly Skies as an air traffic controller, and he says it'll be nice to go back to being a dual income household.
Obviously, having uncertainty financially is never a good thing, especially with a family. So the last few weeks with my wife not getting paid as an air traffic controller, you know, you just have to make decisions financially, and, you know, it adds to stress that you already have.
I think the government needs to be opened, and then negotiations can start. So I'm fine with it.
Just another day where we all wish that we had President Obama back, and I just pray that the men and women will mask up and be real and vote against it.
It may end, so I mean, that's a big maybe, but it would be really great because obviously there's a lot of people who are missing out on paychecks and then SNAP and all that stuff, so it'd be great to have it over. And
it's about time. It's about time. I'm back in Arizona. I'm raising money and I'm doing food drives so that we can get people the food that they need. It's really, really unfortunate, especially flying right now as well. The TSA workers that aren't getting paid, my friends that have gotten bumped off of their flights because there's no way to take those planes anymore.
I think it'd be good to help the poor people get food and stuff. Like some people it's just that we need the good holiday spirit support. Like people get the food stamps again, so that way they won't have a bad Christmas or a bad Thanksgiving.
Now, we also reached out to the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services, and they stated in part, quote, the uncertainty and confusion surrounding SNAP benefits that has spread across the country is unfair to over 1 million Michigan residents that rely on these benefits to put food on the table and support their families. We will continue to do everything we can to assist those in need. Now, if you want to read the full statement, you can have it over to fox2detroit.com. And coming up in the 6 o'clock show, you're going to hear what these folks had to say about health care, because that was top of mind for them as well. Reporting live here in downtown Detroit, Lauren Edwards, Fox 2 News.
All right, Lauren, let me just put you on the spot for just one moment. This issue is so political. In your travels today, which party do you think gained because of the shutdown? Which party lost because of the shutdown?
Judging from what people were saying, you know, honestly, here's what I'm going to say, Charlie, because I love that question. But so many people were saying they want it to end. They just want the people to win. They want money back in people's pockets. They want food on people's tables. They want folks back at work. So that's what a lot of people were saying. And some of them even flat out said this isn't Democrat, Republican. They just want to get people back to work, especially before the holidays.
That's a great answer. Very, very good. All right, Lord Ezra, appreciate that. We'll see you back at 6. All right, now to a very disturbing case out of Pontiac. A 31-year-old woman facing charges after her 3 kids were found living in filth. This is another shocking case of alleged abuse and neglect in the same city where another mother is accused of abandoning her children for years. The smell of this dumpster in Pontiac, where 3 kids used to live, now allegedly abandoned by their mother, is disgusting. Look at these pictures. You saw the pictures. I mean, what's going through your mind when you see that?
I didn't know they was living in those conditions. I mean, I didn't know. I mean, I don't know.
According to the Oakland County Sheriff, 31-year-old Teromas Tremise Johnson had left her 3 children alone in this apartment seemingly for days. A 12-year-old girl and 2 9-year-old boys lived in deplorable conditions: rotten food, human and animal feces, no plumbing, and clogged sinks. And even though the children were enrolled in school, their attendance was poor.
They were good kids, good kids, good kids.
Briasha Wilson lives near the deplorable apartment, but says the kids just wanted to play.
They want to do something, like, it's like they weren't getting no attention. They was out all night, running up and down the street all night long. I never knew that's what they was going through indoors. You never know what a person's going through.
And Johnson is now facing multiple charges for child abuse, and she's currently on probation after being convicted of retail fraud and running from the cops with their kids in the car in Rochester Hills. Now, when Johnson was in court for her arraignment, she was given a bond. But after she threw a chair and swore at the judge, her bond was denied. All right, a Chinese researcher charged with smuggling a dangerous pathogen into the United States and then lying to the FBI has pleaded guilty. 33-year-old Yu Chin Jiwa was arrested back in June. According to court records, the U of M researcher received a sample of fungus from her boyfriend, who works at a lab in China. The pathogen, known for killing crops and sickening people and animals, Jian was sentenced today to time served. All right, hitting red light after red light can be a real pain, but it could soon be a headache of the past. Oakland County Road Commission now teaming up with the University of Michigan researchers to install a new system aimed to improve traffic light timing throughout the country. Let's go right now live. Scott Wilczek, Royal Oak. He's stopped at a red light, or are you having fun?
No,
you're going.
No,
okay,
Charlie, we were at a stop sign, so we're getting on to 12 Mile right now. This is one of the stretches that the researchers are doing the traffic timing right. So I'm going to flip it so you can see we're on 12 Mile. This is Vincetta coming up. So 12 Mile between Vincetta and Connecticut, right? Big thing in Royal Oak, and you can see we're hitting the red light here. So in theory, after we hit this red light, we should just hit green lights from then on. So that's kind of the aim of this project. So what is it exactly? So back in the past, they would have needed to the Road Commission would have needed to send somebody physically out here to kind of conduct a traffic survey, mess with the traffic signals. What this U of M research group is doing is they are taking data collected from smart cars, and they only need 5% of smart cars data that goes through these intersections. The light's green now, so let's take a look and see if we can actually get through it. They use this data to, in real time, feed it back to the county, and the county could say, okay, we see that this is where we need to change the timing to, and they come out and they actually physically have changed the timing. So it's one of those situations where they're really hoping this can change safety, it can change traffic flow, and it can bring about a lot of cost-saving measures. And unfortunately, oh, look at that! Oh, look at that. It turned green on us. So it looks like maybe it could be working here. I'm actually excited. I was about to be like, yeah, we're pulling right back up to another red light. So it seems to be working. Take a listen to what the Road Commission had to say.
The data is actually pretty amazing. We've seen 20 to 30 or more % reduction in the number of stops along those corridors, which is phenomenal. I mean, it's hard for us to do that kind of improvement any other way. This can be extrapolated countywide, region-wide, statewide, worldwide. I mean, in the little world of traffic signal timing, this is essentially revolutionary. This is what we've aspired to for decades, to be able to quickly and easily retime a traffic signal to be most efficient.
Sounds promising, but what does somebody who drives this stretch every day think?
I saw them working actually at Connecticut and was very excited. For about 2 days it was great, and then it went back to the not working so well.
Oh no.
Oh yes. And then these lights here at Maine and Rochester are out of sync. I mean, I can remember traveling through LA when I was a kid, and if you went 35, you hit every light green. Okay, that was in the 60s. Why can't we do that now?
What do you think is the big problem with this stretch?
The problem is if you try to time all the lights, well, you've got the crossroads, and at some point you can't make everything work both directions.
And we are actually hitting every green light, amazingly. I don't want to jinx it, but it's actually pretty smooth sailing. Remember, this is Royal Oak at 5 o'clock. And if you're wondering how long it took us a little bit earlier when we did it, 1 minute, 37 seconds. That's my brother's cat, Mr. Bean. Shout out to Mr. Bean. Charlie, live in Royal Oak, back to you.
Scott, I get it. You're on a main road. But if I'm on a side street trying to get onto that main road, I'm going to be there forever.
Yeah, you know what? I think that it's one of those things where you got to kind of wonder if it's affecting the traffic on the other ones, but, you know, like coming the other way. But right now they've only got this implemented here on 12 Mile and a stretch on 8 Mile. Yes.
He's going to be there for he's going to wait 1 minute and 37 before you get around there. It looks like it's good, maybe one way. They need to
we sped through pretty quickly. Yeah, we got through pretty quick over here. But yeah, it's kind of promising. It's interesting to see how it's going to work. But like I said, the local, he wasn't too impressed with it.
There you go. All right, sounds good. Scott Walchuk live somewhere in Royal Oak, but who knows where? He could be in Fernville, for all I know by now. Thanks, Scott. Appreciate it.
See ya.
Hey, gentlemen, thankfully today it wasn't as cold as yesterday. We actually made it up to 50 degrees with breaks of sun. It was still breezy out there, 48 here right now. How about this? We're catching the sunset right there over Detroit and the Detroit River. Sure is beautiful out there. You know, we have a good chance to see some northern lights this evening as we get down to 32, and then this quiet stretch of weather continues right into Saturday. Look at that, near 60 degrees for the first part of the weekend. Charlie, how about a check of the 7-day after the break?
Look forward to that. But a looming decision about teaching sex education in schools. More on the proposed changes and what it means for parents next.
Fox